You can create your own wood box to use outside at your house using scrap wood. Now you're going to need to pick up 2 boards. Now since this is going to be an outdoor planter, I decided to go with cedar boards, but if you want to keep it inside, you could really use any board that you want. But I bought 2 cedar boards at Lowe's. One of the boards is a 1x6x6. The other board is a 1x4x6. So I'm gonna start by measuring my coffee table where this is gonna sit to decide, how long I want my planter box to be. I cut 2 side pieces that were the same length. I'm gonna go to my smaller board, which is my 1x4x6 board, and I'm gonna cut that down to the same length as my 2 side boards. Next, I'm going to use my nailer, which I will link below. I love this nailer. You guys know I use it all the time. I'm gonna nail the side boards to the bottom board. Next, I'm gonna come in and cut side pieces, and I'll nail those in place as well. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. I'm gonna sand any rough edges on the box. Now, since this is going to be an outside planter, it's important to have drainage. So I used my drill to create some drainage holes on the bottom of the box. So I wanted to add some solar lights to this planter. Now you're definitely going to need something underneath to fill it with because you don't want to use your nice rocks to fill in your box. I found these super fancy lights at Dollar Tree. I love the scroll work on them. So I'm gonna put 5 of these lights into my box. Next, I wanted to use a combination of moss and then these white rocks that I picked up at Home Depot for a completely different project in my house. I actually had some left over. So I'm gonna start by putting down the moss and then I'll add in my rocks. These are great sitting out on a coffee table in your outdoor sitting area. Have you walked by these $1.25 hangers and wondered what you could do with them? Well, these are great for those hanging solar lights. So you can put them out in your yard and then add on some of your favorite solar lights. In the plus section, they have these hanging ones for $5, and I think they look great on these hangers. We were at the thrift store the other day and I found this candle holder. It was really unique and something I hadn't seen before. I think originally it was made for tea lights, but I had the idea of could we use this for our solar lights? So that's what I picked it up for. So I started by cleaning it because it was really dirty. Then I wanted to spray paint it black. So I came in with a matte black spray paint on the bottom side, and then once that was dry, I flipped it over and spray painted the top. I did want to add some textured spray paint to it, so I had this kind of like black metallic textured spray paint. I added that to the top as well. Now I needed 5 solar lights for this next project, and I removed the bases off of these solar lights. And then to hold them in place, I hot glued each of the solar lights to the bottom of each of the holes in this candle holder. Once that was dry, I knew that I needed to add a little bit more to really secure these solar lights in place. So I mixed up some more Quikrete with water. Now before, when I was doing Quikrete, I was definitely making it a thicker consistency, but this I wanted it to be a lot thinner because I knew it was going to be harder to put the Quikrete around the edges. So I made it a little bit more watery. Then to add it to my containers, I put all of the Quikrete into a Ziploc bag. This is kind of a technique you use whenever you're icing cakes. So I put it in a Ziploc bag and then I cut off the corner. I squeezed it into each of the areas around the solar light. Once I was done doing that, I tapped the candle holder down on my tray just to make sure that the Quikrete was as smooth as possible. And make sure they're as full as you want them to be. Now you may get some Quikrete around the top edge, just kind of pull off any excess. Let it dry overnight. I did want to clean it up a lot more the next day, so I did go in with an additional gray paint that I have and just paint along the top so it looked nice. I feel like this is a really unique solar light piece that maybe you could set out on a side table, or it would look great on your coffee table. So I had some solar lights from last year that were pretty dirty, and I was wondering, like, how do you clean solar lights? So I went searching and I found this trend where people were using bug spray to clean their solar lights. So I wanted to try that out and see if it worked. Let me show you how you can hang some of your solar lights. So what you're gonna need for this next project are those hanging baskets that they sell at Dollar Tree for $1.25. You're also going to need 3 solar lights. Also from the Reese store, I picked up these dollar globes. They sell these a ton, or you may have them around your house. So I'm gonna start with that base, and then I'm going to put in one of the Reese store globes. Next, I needed to fill that hole at the bottom so that my solar light would fit in there. So I have these wood rings from Dollar Tree that I'm going to hot glue into the bottom there. So I actually had to put 2 rings to make it the right size. So I put a Dollar Tree ring and then I put a smaller one inside of the larger one. Now for your solar light, you're going to remove the base and then you can set it down into that ring and it will hold in place. You can also E6000 it in place just to hold it really securely. I repeated these steps with 2 more hanging baskets. I'll hang these outside. I have these hooks on my deck and I think they are perfect for outdoor lights. So for our next solar light, you're going to need a dome. You're also going to need one of these hanging plant chains they sell at Dollar Tree and a solar light. You're gonna take the base of your dome and you're going to drill 3 holes around the outside edge because you're trying to make a hanger. You're also going to need to drill a hole in the middle of the bottom of that dome piece. So I did change out my drill bit to a larger drill bit just to create a larger hole there. Next, I'm gonna remove everything from the solar light except for that very top black piece. And I'm going to E6000 along the edges and place it onto the base of my dome, making sure that the light you can see through that hole that I drilled. Next, using that Dollar Tree chain, I'm going to place that around each of the 3 holes that I put around that dome. So I did have to open them a little bit with my pliers just to make sure that I could get them securely on. And then I'll put the dome back on the bottom. And then with this, you can hang it on one of those $1.25 hangers I had, or anywhere you have around your house. It makes a great hanging solar light. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.